that Putin's peace offer is mere propaganda.
The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is alerting Americans about a potential shortage of Adderall, a crucial treatment for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder.
The CDC issued the Health Alert Network advisory earlier this week.
The U.S. State Department has designated the Nordic Resistance Movement and 3 of its leaders as specially designated global terrorists.
NRM is the largest neo-Nazi group in Sweden, with branches in Norway, Denmark, Iceland, and Finland.
A family of 6, including 3 children, were killed by gunmen in the southern Mexico border state of Chiapas, a region plagued by cartel-backed militia violence.
The mayor of Pantelo in Chiapas said the killings occurred there last Friday.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement of fact. Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
Damn good coffee and hot.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with a Dog. You make me laugh.
Good morning, America. Guess what? We lost Matt, surely by accident. We didn't plan it that way, and he's coming right back. I'm just filling in space so you don't leave us. That's all.
It's a GD.
Yes.
It's a GD show, and now I'm dark, but at least the beeping stopped, right?
The beeping is stopped, and welcome to the dark side, my friend.
There's 2 GDs. Oh, never mind.
Oh, I totally undo. No, you can come in now, Steven. It's a clusterfuck of a day already, so why not just do it?
I thought it was me. That's why I popped in and out a couple times. I was like, "What's that?"
No,
beeping?
it is you. It was you. According to this, it's just click on Steven and stop his beeping.
Yeah, maybe I thought the heat evading was broken. I don't know.
Hot all of a sudden in here, but let me see if I do this. No, I'm on auto. Don't be on auto. Very weird, the beeping thing. I don't know what caused that. I really don't, but I don't care either. We have no guests today. Clusterfuck of a day. So I was just going to basically mail it in anyway. So lick the stamp, put it in the mail. Now, why am I so how you say, red? or reddish?
My peoples.
Yeah.
The proposed attack is spreading.
Yes, it's
I'm very reddish.
Yeah, your
not
red is
radish.
spreading. Your red is spreading from your neck to the rest of your head. No,
That's a little reddish.
That's terrible.
I'm a radishy eating reddish, or redishy eating rubbish. What is this? Auto. The whole thing is whacked. It's a wacky type of day, I tell you. I wake up and everything's broken. Time is off.
Dude, that's my everyday. I wake up every day and everything's broken.
Like this?
Much better, Matt. Much better. Much better. That's even better. Blizzard conditions.
This is appropriate because White Boy Summer is trending on Twitter. That's a little better on.
Is that what it looks like when you go out in the sun and it reflects off your head?
That's better. We got it right. Yes, that's what it looks like.
I knew it.
What the fuck is that metronome? Metronome. Bop, 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 boppity, bop.
Yeah.
It wasn't a metronome.
We were sending Morse code to the other rebel alliances.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't know. Anyway.
I think Ron did it. He was
Ron sabotaging the whole thing. Saboteur.
Help me, Ron did it. Help me, Ron did it. Help me, Ron did it. I don't know.
It's all his fault.
So how are you guys today? You know what? This stuff CD right in his track from doing his Good Morning America, blah, blah.
I know. I was still writing it. I hadn't even finished writing it. I wrote the first 5 words. 6 words.
Well, no, I got the first 5 words for you. Good Morning America.
Well, I never write that part down. That's just my trigger. But the first 5 words I wrote, 8 words, and then I'll just make it up from there. Good morning, America. MindDogTV.com. Are you short on Adderall? Come to MindDogTV.com, where we have all of your prescription needs. We have Adderall, we have ketamine, and we have. Just come to MindDog TV and get your prescription filled. MindDog TV. Yeah. Enjoy the suffering.
How much is the?
It's by the ounce.
Well,
it used to be by the gram.
I don't think that's how pharmacies divvy out their medications. An ounce of Adderall and maybe a gram of Oxy, please.
Yeah, and it's also market price, so they never list it. They have this ticker tape thing going on in the background, so you actually can go like now. I want 4 grams now.
Vicodin, it's down. Buy.
Yes, right. Vicodin, buy.
Video surveillance on Trump freaking out right now with the Adderall shortage. Like, oh no.
His hands are going to seem really big now.
FYI, Matt, I'm just mentioning this so you don't get caught with your pants down. Since we didn't have any guests today, I sent out a message to, I'm going to say a friend because I'm using that term really loosely. We have not seen each other in person in 8 years, but we follow each other on TikTok, and he's a comedy show producer, but he also has a security company where one of his clients is a internationally touring comic. But I'm not going to say because I don't know if it's top secret, and he just told me because he thought I could keep the secret.
Oh.
So, yeah. But at any rate, his name is Daryl Klein. I didn't send him the site because I wanted to know that he's just if he comes in, I'll let you know.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's all, and I appreciate that. We, always, you know what? It doesn't have to be only when we have no guests. If you have people.
I actually invited him for a future spot. He was still he hadn't booked yet, and so I just reached out today as I don't know what to.
Yeah, you want to jump on. Anybody within the sound of my voice, jump on. I'll go take a break. I'll go out fishing with a magnet.
Magnet fishing sounds really fun, actually.
Magnets don't work in water, right? You do know magnets don't work in water.
No, they do. They do work in water.
They do work in water.
No, not
People
according
go
to
magnet fishing all the time.
Not according to Donald Trump. Magnets don't work in water. Donald Trump said it. It must be true.
Well, he's not a scientist. He's a science list.
He's science-less.
Yes, science less.
two people went magnet fishing in, where was it? The desert. Magnet fishing a couple in New York State found a safe with $100,000 in it.
Hell yeah!
So
Wow.
I'm thinking about busking.
So now,
have you guys ever busked?
No, I didn't even know that was a word until just now, and I'm still not sure.
I didn't think I had any talents worth busking. Like,
no, you could busk. You could. Dave Chappelle busk.
Does he busk a nut everywhere?
Well, he was when he first came back from Africa, and he didn't have any gigs. He was busking.
Well,
so
I'm sure it would work well somewhere like New York. I don't think in Fort Wayne it would work well.
Why?
There's not enough foot traffic.
Nowhere?
I mean, even downtown.
A mall? You got a mall?
Oh, dude, the mall here? No, there's too many shootings at the mall. I don't like going there.
Train station?
What's a train station?
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
No, see, in Indiana, a train station is where you meet other women. If you're like multiple guys and one woman.
No, we call that after dark. That's the gay bar. But we no, the train station. I don't. Wait, do we even have a real train station
here?
Yeah. Yes, we do. Oh.
See that? You can busk at the train station.
Now, why does your wife know about the train station and you didn't?
Because she's lived here her whole life. I've only been here for 4 years.
4 years. I haven't found out about the train station.
Dude, I have the GPS my way around still. I get lost in the phone book. You don't even understand. I have no sense of direction.
If you have a phone book, you are lost.
Exactly.
Yeah. I couldn't even work my sundial last night. I couldn't work the sundial for anything.
Oh yeah, that's the worst. I bet the sun went out. That's okay. It comes back.
Oh.
Yeah.
So yeah,
well, sometimes you have to set it forward. Did you set it forward for sunlight savings time?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, do you guys, GD, do you know what White Boy Summer is? It a thing? I don't know.
And I would know about White Boy Summer because I have a discount card or something.
Because you might be a victim of White Boy Summerish-ness.
I think GD's very, very much. I think Black Summer.
It's kind of like I don't know, a clan uprising or something. And well, Stephen would know about it even more than you would. But I'm not exactly sure what exactly, because people are making fun of it, or like what is meant by white boys. You can put that on me. I'll go.
Oh my god! I didn't realize that looked like it was on your head when I did that.
No, yeah. It's meant for this spot.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yes.
White Boy Summer is a song by Chet Hanks.
Wow.
There's also another version of it by Tom McDonald and Adam
Try that
Kelly.
in a white boy small town.
I will not.
Oh. Okay. The governor of Iowa last night was on Twitter complaining about how Iowa is not they struck down the legislation in Iowa, struck down a bill to enforce the southern border from keeping illegal immigrants in. And
you mean the Iowa southern border?
Wait, I was going to say, Iowa's not on the border of Mexico?
This is the governor, and you have to explain to the governor that she is 1,000 miles north of the southern border.
I know Iowa has a southern border because when I go into Iowa, I usually go in through the eastern border because I'm heading usually into the Des Moines area.
Yeah.
But I didn't even know there was a problem with their southern border. Now I have to be careful when I go there.
Yeah, apparently it's full of Mexicans and no one knew.
I'm paranoid enough when I'm driving out west. Iowa and the other I countries. In
Idaho is the worst. Idaho is the Ruby Ridge country. It's where it's very Nazi. You talk about Ukraine.
I enjoyed Idaho.
You did.
Well, it's all the. It seems like it's all the I states: Indiana, Idaho, Iowa, Illinois.
Indiana's very black friendly and Mexican friendly.
No, it's not black friendly where I drive.
I didn't say they were friendly. I just said we welcome them.
Well, your favorite musician.
You gotta lynch somebody.
Whoa!
Your favorite musician is an Indiana boy, and he's not. He's totally anti-Nazi. He's a communist, kind of, sort of. That's GD's favorite musician.
Yeah, communist.
Who's on this Indiana state flag of music?
I didn't know Indiana had a state flag. Larry Bird?
No, he said music.
John Cougar Melonhead.
Oh, see, I thought it would be Larry Bird because birds, sing.
I thought it was Jared from Subway. He's also from Indiana. So.
Is he musical? I never heard him sing.
Well, he did sing a lot before he went to jail.
Anyway, so I said to her, the Iowa governor, whatever her name is, Kim
Jong-un.
I blocked her already, so I can't see her anymore. But I said to her, we're actually working on legislation to keep all the fucking retards in Iowa where they belong. And,
okay, just for the record, Iowa, not my family and friends, not U12, just the rest. Not U12.
No, you can leave, yeah.
U12 can leave.
Oh, Kim Reynolds is her name. Yeah, the governor of Iowa. Anyway, Matt Sanders, who follows me on Twitter, said, also, Iowa isn't on the border. I was like, yeah, well, that was my point, except I didn't bother even saying that. I just called her a fucking retard. But he alerted me. He said he said Anthony Cumia and Nick Fuentes are teaming up. Are you familiar with either one of those?
I know they're white nationalists, right?
Yeah. Anthony Cumia used to be the Anthony of Opie and Anthony. Opie and Anthony. And Nick Fuentes, I don't know how he got famous, but he is a young man who is Nazi. He's a gay guy, conservative. I don't know, virgin gay guy, porn addict, gay porn addict.
Oh, so I was thinking he was like among the Proud Boys. And
he had dinner with Donald Trump with Kanye. He was Kanye's campaign manager.
Right.
I thought for a solid month and a half that the Proud Boys were a gang of gay dudes going around.
They are.
Well, I mean, they are, but I didn't realize they were white nationalists. I just thought they were after booty holes, and no, they're after
booty holes.
Well, booty holes, but
when you say white nationalists, white supremacists, let's be very clear that they would suck a black dick in a heartbeat.
They would suck the flavor out of one.
I'll say they would suck really any dick, but a black one in particular, probably. And that's why they're so angry at black people, because they don't like how the black men make them feel. They make them feel tingly and warm inside.
Yeah. It's the power we have over
racism is they're just sexually attracted and angry about it.
It's the power we have over those Proud Boys.
Dude, if my genitals could strike fear into a whole race, I'd be lit. I'd be so happy.
Yeah, but it has its downside also, though.
Yeah, it's an inch and a half long, and that's the downside. Well, I'm sad about it.
We were almost hunted to extinction because people were collecting our genitals and using them as aphrodisiacs. So,
the same thing happened to mountain lions, and I'm glad you both are okay.
Yeah. We had to be brought back from the brink of extinction because of
zoos. I mean, not zoos.
You thought naga hides were expensive. Try nigger hide. That's really it. I said AH. I said it just like naga hide. I said nigga hide. I didn't say the ER word because it's not
people who aren't listening on Gov Radio Network. The 7-second delay just doesn't seem to be working correctly here. I did push the button.
Well, here's the thing: it's a 7-second delay, but on color people time, it's plus 3 seconds. So
I'm surprised that there isn't a weed strain called that.
I bet there is somewhere. There has to be.
With CPT, you take one hit and you just lose all track of. Oh,
the hides.
Yeah.
Well, there's a rock. There's a there is a rock called a nigger head. Can I say that? Because it's one word.
No, you can't say what you just said.
Oh, it's a rock.
I was waiting for Matt to be like, no, you can't say.
Can I curse on here? They always say that after. They always say after I said fuck, they come out and say, "Oh, can we curse on here?" A little late.
No.
A little late for the request, but yes, you may.
You cannot cuss here. We can.
Okay.
Does it surprise you that the head of the Prime Minister of Italy is Giorgia Meloni?
I am not surprised as much as I am. I question people sometimes.
Like it's like Patrick O'Malley is the Prime Minister of Italy, or Patrick Fitzgerald, or Gerald Fitzpatrick, or I don't know, Shorno Blarney Stone, whatever. It's just like you're not Italian. How the hell did you get to be Prime Minister of Italy?
Well, I wonder
if they voted for her.
Can you be Prime Minister in other countries without being born there?
I guess not, or even, maybe she was born there, or he was. I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
She could have been born there and just married outside of her flavor.
It could be. Maybe George is actually a guy, and it's just a weird. They have a weird way of saying George. I don't know. Well, I don't know anything about. But when I heard that in the news report, I was like, "What?" Doesn't make any sense.
They almost elected Georgia O'Keeffe, but that was because of her artwork. That was years ago.
Right. Looking at Gov's booked up till December 27th here.
Stephen, there's a young lady eating a bear behind your head.
Oh, that's my wife.
She's eating a bear.
It looks like she was eating a bear. It looks like she was eating a bear head. I mean, I've seen people eat bear claws, but bear heads are.
She's actually eating my dog's head.
Oh, that's oh my God. I'm calling PETA, or is it ASCAP? ASPCA.
I didn't know they could see me.
Yes. Not only can I see you, I can hear you.
Sorry.
And give me another minute. Give me another second, and my other 3 senses will kick in too.
I was gonna say we had to go there.
Smells so right.
No.
It's your fault, Matt. You should have booked guests.
I should have. You know what? I didn't want. I've had enough of these fucking guests. They're all I'm canceling everybody. Everybody's gone.
You can't do that. We have a guest on the 17th, right?
We have a guest tomorrow. Yeah.
We need we need more psychics.
You don't know. I had one cancel on me for tomorrow night.
For unforeseen circumstances.
A psychic. I don't know. She didn't give me a reason.
She saw the show in advance and decided it wasn't worth doing. She's like, I've seen the show.
No. She wants to reschedule. She wants to reschedule it as soon as possible. We also have Flowtone on Friday. Flowtone is a band out of Chicago.
Yeah.
Tone Flowtone. They used to be in the band Flowtony. Back in the 90s. Remember Tony? Or you probably.
Yeah, I remember Tony.
But now they're Flowtone.
I'd rather kill Tony than flow Tony.
Right. So no guest on Thursday unless Billy McCarthy, who contacted me yesterday. He might come on Thursday. He's got a book out about the legends of comedy. He claims to have lived with Joe Ancis, the mysterious Joe Ancis, who you guys never heard of before.
Catch a Predator?
Joe Ancis was best friends with Lenny Bruce and Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh,
what's his face did you know, your friend BK, the big Jew. He did on his thing last night. They did the video we looked at was a Lenny Bruce. Yeah, from a television appearance. It was all clean. It was the bit All Alone.
Yeah. He did, that was a Steve Allen show, right?
I think so. 1965.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago.
There's not a lot of good material from Lenny Bruce's stuff that survives that you can look at or listen to. That's why. So the legend of what a great comedian he was is kind of lost if you're trying to find his actual material.
Yeah,
and I've been saying that for a while. Like, where are we basing this? Just because you got
maybe his album, but he had albums. He had albums in the beginning, right?
He had albums.
So there would be the audio record.
It doesn't hold up though.
No, you don't hold them up. You lay them down. If you hold them up, the needle won't stick.
If you could listen to a Flip Wilson record or Red Fox record today, it would still be funny, even because it wasn't topical. Lenny Bruce's was topical. It had to be. It's like kind of like critical joke theory. 20 years from now, people be like,
people are gonna die laughing.
Why is that even?
Yes.
Why is
because it has pictures, and they'll see the pictures, and it will trigger. It also comes in Smellorama, so they'll be able to scratch their screen and smell it too.
Looking at governor's list here, they're booked up until December 27th.
Yeah, that's why they wouldn't book me. I reached out to them. They said we're booked until December 27th, and I'm like, well, I'm sorry, I'm busy on the 28th, so I guess we just aren't doing business this year.
Probably have some pretty big names in the summertime, which is kind of unusual for me to see that. You know what? Because it's hard to get people to go to comedy clubs on Long Island in the summer. Just is. But they have some pretty Colin Quinn. He's in July. Yeah, Colin Quinn's big, man. Adam Ferrara. You cannot like him. Like, I don't like him, but he's pretty big. He's in June. He's next week, June 28th.
But he's losing weight, right?
He didn't have that much weight to begin with. You
I
don't know Adam Ferrara. You don't know Adam Ferrara.
I know the name. I know the name. I don't know any of his material, at least off the top of my head.
Adam Ferrara. Well, I don't know any material either. And Adam Ferrara was the co-host of the original co-host of the Man Show. Believe it or not.
Right. Like, I didn't watch it, but
like what kind of man when is on the host of the Man Show and talks like this?
Okay, I know who he is now, and I didn't think he was funny.
Yeah, I still don't think he's funny. But he's pretty big. I mean, as far as
he's about that tall.
I mean, as far as his career and what his drawing power. But June 28th, again, Long Island is not, it's summertime. Nobody wants to go to fucking. Maybe I'll sell it out. Maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I don't know, man. After being in the heat yesterday, I think anybody outside would have gone into anywhere air conditioned by that time.
There's a deli right next door to Gov's. You could go in there. They have air conditioning on.
We'll get a hoagie and then laugh. There you go.
Yeah, right. Well, you don't have to go into Gov's. You just go into the deli. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And the butcher is a riot. A joke a minute.
Butcher?
Isn't that the person who cuts the meat in the deli?
No, that's the guy who cuts the meat in the butcher shop. In the deli, we just call them
slicers.
Asshole to make me a sandwich.
Deli clerk. That's what they call.
Oh yeah, deli clerk.
That's right.
Deli dancers.
Deli dancers.
Yeah, without the dancing.
With their 340 pounds, and instead of a bikini, it's salami.
If you're tuning into the show and you want your money back, just to understand that I have not run a sponsors piece today for a reason. Because
I sponsor this mess right now. Brought to you by Spishak.
Brought to you by Adderall shortage. The governor of Maryland. The governor of Maryland has signed pardons for like hundreds of thousands of pot people.
Pot people?
Yeah, pot people. People who had pot problems and went to had
I'm
pot
aware
on
of
their
potted
record.
plants. I've never
Yeah.
seen a potted person before. I guess Stephen
Oh,
is as
yeah.
close to a potted person.
I'm close to a potted person. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I have to do my research on it. I haven't like fully researched it. I just got the blurb, and my wife said to me yesterday, "You know, our governor did such and such," and I went, "Yeah, I kind of saw it. I didn't read the whole story." And she goes,
What?
"Okay."
He pardoned, right? Pardoned
I think so. I think so. Yeah.
170,000 pot crimes.
Yeah. After half of my relatives that would have benefited from that are dead.
Right.
Yeah.
This oddly enough, somebody is I keep getting these solicitations to advertise this show on major outlets like Fox News. I want
we would go huge with the Fox News crowd. We would be huge.
Just to rub it in their face. But he said only $27 they could get me placed on Fox News. $27, and I'm like, that sounds ridiculous. It sounds like a waste of $27. That's not going to happen.
You know what I think would happen? Maybe he's going to bundle. Maybe he's going to get like 300 people for $27 each, and put like a billboard with all the pictures of all the people, and it'll go like, check out these people, and it'll be on Fox News. And so you'll have like a 30-second blurb, but your picture will be up there with like 300 other people who gave him $27.
If Fox News found out about us, they would. I don't know, man.
Put us on Hannity.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun.
We probably
call us a bunch of haters. Call us haters and anti-Trumpers and leftists and fascists and whatever else.
No, see, but that's not true. I am not an anti-Trumper. I'm an anti-dick asshole thieves. Okay, I'm anti what he does. If he would just not do those things, he'd be fine with me. If he'd stop stealing, stop lying, stop running for office, stop criming, I wouldn't have a problem with him. I just have the same issues with what he does as I do with anybody who does what he does. And I would not support anybody who did what he does. It's nothing personal against Trump.
Safe. The show, I did a video of a play at first at the Mets game last night. He was safe. I think that's
okay. And congratulations to the Boston Celtics, who won their 18th NBA title.
Yep,
Won it big, right? What was the score of the game? Like 180-7 or something?
I have no idea. I didn't look at it. I didn't even realize they were playing until this morning. There was a crawl across the television. And first I thought it was a bug, and I tried to kill it. And then I realized, oh, no, that's a ticker. Never mind. That's what that is, crawling.
All I know is somebody wrote on Twitter, it's a blowout in a basketball game when everybody on the court is white. They pulled all the black players because we don't need them anymore. Just leave the white guys out there. Give them some playing time. But according to that tweet on or thing on Twitter, both teams did that. Like, it's like pulling the goalie in hockey. Throw the white guys out there. Speaking of hockey, I went to a hockey game yesterday. My grandson's hockey game. It was one of the best games I've ever seen. I mean, and I've gone to several of them.
Is this pro hockey?
Huh?
Pro hockey or like high school hockey, a little kid hockey?
Yeah, high school.
Okay.
But usually it's like a 18 to 15 game. Like that's. I mean, but yesterday was really close. The skating was incredible. The shooting, the passing, all of it. I was like, what happened? Like they've never been this good. Both teams were really good. And
so they had all the black players. They had all the black players on the ice.
No, they couldn't. Black players couldn't find the ice. They were like, "What's that?"
They're probably scared they were going to fall through. They can't swim.
Yeah, that's true. No, they couldn't find the ice because it's in the wrong part of town.
I always thought they'd be able to find ice anywhere they went.
But man, it was like incredible to see like a dramatic change in the level of play. But the guy did pull it. One coach did pull the goalie too soon, and it ended up being 5-2. It would have been 3-2, and really close. I mean, one of the goalies was just on fire. It must have blocked. It must have saved probably 90 shots on goal, and everywhere. It was incredible. Really good game. I was like so psyched about it.
Those are Gretzky numbers. If I knew any other hockey player other than Gretzky,
right?
Like who actually was the goalie? I don't.
I think it was Willie numbers because he takes every shot except
the ones that matter.
Except the ones that didn't take. Yeah.
It's funny because I really did used to know hockey players and names and stuff like that. I don't. I actually used to go to the occasional hockey game and watch it.
I didn't watch my first hockey game until last year.
Live or on television?
On television. I've never been to a live sporting event outside of NASCAR.
Wow.
And I take that back. I went to one Notre Dame. I went to Notre Dame football game one time, but that was it. Yeah.
Was that on purpose or were you lost?
Actually, it was for work, so I was kind of paid to go. But
NASCAR, if NASCAR's a sport, then robot, whatever, you have robots playing a game, that would be a sport too.
BattleBots is a sport.
No, it's a pastime, just like NASCAR. NASCAR's a pastime. Golf is a pastime. Robotic things, that's a pastime. They're not sports.
I think he's saying past.
Segregation was a
You're
pastime.
mispronouncing the word. It's waste. It's waste time. Yeah, that's better. What is
I do get the best seats in this chair. That's but see, that's why I like going to comedy shows and music shows because I get in early. I get to pick the seat that I want. I don't usually get to go where they put me because it's not usually accessible. So yeah, generally speaking, I get really good seats.
The idea
so you can actually
no such at a comedy show. The best seat is all the way in the back in the dark where nobody can see you.
I like being up front.
Same here.
No,
I like to be up front.
No, you don't. You don't like being up front. Change your mind on that right now.
I do. I do because I want. When I'm actually at a comedy, when I watch other comedians, it's almost like I'm in school and I'm taking notes, mental notes. Like
same.
Now it's not notes in terms of like material. It's more notes in terms of like mechanics.
See, for me, it's like when I'm around comedy, it gets like my own creative juices going. It's like being an athlete and going to see other athletes, or whatever. It's just it gets my juices going, and then for the rest of the day, I'm like, all right, it's pumping now, and I'll start.
No.
Now, if I'm with my wife, I can't sit up front because after a couple of drinks, my wife thinks she's whispering, and then everybody hears her saying things like,
"Watch my."
He's really not that funny.
Same.
No.
Same.
No. See how
I can't sit. No. I can't sit in the back of my club because there's stairs.
No. See, no. See how it goes. No.
And I spent enough time in the back. I'm sitting up front. Damn it! I will be seen.
This isn't a bus. It's a comedy club. It's different.
In music, I could see. You want a front row seat. In comedy, you want to. No. You see this? No.
Not.
Hey, you know what? Say what you want, but because I sat up front, I got to hang out.
I want. I said
hang out with Doug Stanhope for like 20 minutes after a show.
No.
You got to reach around Doug Stanhope for 20 minutes after a show. She says you got to rub Doug Stanhope.
Hang out. I got to hang out, not.
Oh, I heard the hanging out part. I didn't know what was hanging out.
Well, that's because Stanhope doesn't know you. If he knows you and you're sitting in the front row, he will abuse you and he probably want to have you thrown out.
Well, what happened was I sat up front and he started in on me, which is what I was kind of hoping for. And then after the show, he at the club that we were at, they had an apartment upstairs. So after the show, he went upstairs, came back down, and then he saw me and he was like, he's like, I didn't go too hard on you, did he? And I was like, oh no, that was great. And then we sat for like 20 minutes and talked shop. That was pretty cool.
Wow. I made the mistake of sitting first row at his show when I didn't know how much he hated that because he knows me, and he walked out on stage, and the first thing he said was, "Matt Nappo, what the fuck are you doing there?" And then from there, it just got worse. So
well, see, you have a different experience with that. When people know me in the front row, I don't get that. No, I'll take that. Lesser comedians or younger comedians point me out. The older, experienced comedians just give me a little nod. You know, that little, I got you, bro.
we did give a plug to Mind Dog TV. I have to say that. Matt Nappo, Mind Dog TV. What the fuck are you doing here? Was the exact quote.
Oh, okay.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Front
yeah,
row.
see?
What are you doing in the front row?
Matter of fact,
He
come to
doesn't,
think of it,
he doesn't want to see people he knows. That's the deal. If he's on
That's
stage.
what,
And I get
that's
that.
what,
I don't
when I
want
went
to see
to,
people I know.
when I went to see Jackie Martling up in that part, Soul Joel's in Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
when he saw me in the front row, he took one look at me and he went, "Matt Nappo, Mind Dog TV. What the fuck are you doing here?" that's exactly what he said. That's what he said to me. Yeah.
Matt Blacko.
Black Nappo, what are you doing here?
It was a Freudian slip.
He said, "Black Nappy, what are you doing here?"
Whoa.
Shimoda wants to take you to a game so he can get good seats. That would be almost like one of your clan member family clan members taking you to a game. Except they've never been anywhere except NASCAR either.
And Garth Brooks concerts.
Oh, Garth Brooks is on the out.
Serial killer.
Everybody hates him.
So it's because of Tom Segura. Tom Segura has turned the entire world against Garth Brooks because everyone thinks he's a serial killer.
Well, also he's a liberal, and
that too.
You know, cowboy hat when that doesn't fly so well. Here's the thing about because Nashville and the cowboy hats. I was thinking about this Sunday when I was playing Daisy's Nashville Lounge and all these fucking cowboy hats out there. There are no cowboys in Tennessee. There's never been cowboys in Tennessee. Tennessee is hill country. It's hillbilly country. It's hill country. They don't have cow ranches in. Somebody
Goats?
might have.
They have goats?
They have cows, but they're for milk, and cows don't do well on hills. The cows
That's why I said goats. Goats love hills.
Yeah, goats love it, but they don't have goats.
That's a waste of time. That's a waste of hills.
Well, I don't know. It's not that kind of hill. They're moonshiner hills. But you know the cowboy hats. They don't get. I don't know how that happened to happen where Tennessee became like cowboy hat country. All these guys being fake cowboys going to Nashville. There's no cowboys there. You want cowboys, go out to New Mexico, go out to Texas, go out to Abilene, Kansas.
Central Florida.
Yeah, Central Florida. That's right.
Yeah.
I just got another Mind Dog TV appears to be down. It is offline and unresponsive. These fuckers.
I had a girl like that in high school.
Unresponsive? She was down?
Yeah, she was down and unresponsive. Yeah. Yeah.
They keep telling me, wait till Wednesday. We're going to get all sorted out Wednesday. And then Wednesday passes and we met next Wednesday. But so I'm going to have to either bite the bullet and just say, fuck it, and buy a whole new service and lose that money because they're not going to refund me.
They'll give you a credit.
No, they won't even do that. They won't even do that. I'll never hear from them again. They'll be thankful to not have me complaining to them. But this is ridiculous. The site is up in the middle of the night for an hour at a time. I am fully agree with your frustration and inconvenience. This is what I'm dealing with. I am fully agree. I am fully agree with you. So Mind Dog TV, if you're trying to buy the do-it-yourself colonoscopy kit today, we will get the site back
colonoscopy kit
on Wednesday, some Wednesday.
Yeah, but in the meantime, you can start. You just can't finish. You can start, but you won't get your happy ending until Wednesday.
Right. So Mind Dog TV, the site that is never up, is always down. It's a place to go if you don't want to buy anything because not online. That's the thing. If you want to get a bad request error message, go to Mind Dog TV.
On it.
Oh, you're on it? What do you got? Bad
See.
request?
I'm gonna see right now.
I bet you it's bad request. No.
Mind Dog.
The site you
502 Bad Gateway.
Bad gateway. There you go.
Hey, I remember this is a few years ago. I went on ancestry.com and I was trying to trace my ancestry back, and I got as far as the 1860s, and then the site said site under reconstruction.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? My family tree, we on my dad's side, on my grandmother's side, they have it traced back all the way back to the village from Ireland. On my dad's side, it just goes back to Alabama, and I know it's his family tree because there's a few black folks hanging in it. So
you mean from it, hanging from it,
in it, from it, on it.
Strange fruit. Strange fruit.
Speaking of gateways, are you familiar with Gateway Church?
No, but it sounds like a cult.
Are those the people that put all the money in? And was those the people that followed Joe, Ray, and me and the Hale-Bopp Comet?
No, that was Heaven's Gate.
Okay,
that's what I was thinking too. Honestly, was Heaven's Gate.
What's his name? I can't remember
T.D.
his
Jakes?
name.
Joel.
No, it's he's like one of those guys. He is former spiritual advisor to Donald Trump, actually.
Oh boy!
He was giving his
and he's not in jail. He's not in jail.
Well, he's gonna be in jail.
Oh, okay. Indicted.
He's praying that it doesn't happen, but it's not working.
Giving his sermon on Sunday when a woman in the front row started yelling at him about how he raped her when she was 12 years old.
Whoa.
And
that's not good.
He didn't deny it. He apologized for his inappropriate behavior. Well, listen, raping a 12-year-old girl is not inappropriate behavior.
It is inappropriate behavior. You should not do that. You should wait until they're 13.
Right. No, it's a crime. It's not.
Yeah, it's not just it's not like he said a wrong word or like made somebody uncomfortable.
Not like he was just touching her.
Fucked a child, bro.
Pastor, is it Robert Morris?
How old is she now, and how old was he? In other words, what's the age difference? I mean, was she like 12 when he was 30, or she was 12 when he was 11?
He was 23.
That's close enough.
Ew. Shoot him in the face. Get it over with.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But so yeah, he did not deny it. He apologized to it from the pulpit. He hasn't stepped down. Like,
well, I know what his defense is going to be. He was going to say look, I hit it from the back, so I thought she was 21. That's what he's going to say.
He didn't even say any of that. I mean, you can't.
Publicly, that's what he's going to say to his attorneys. He's not going to say anything to incriminate himself.
You know what? Forget about him for a moment. The other people in the church, stayed there for the sermon. Like the minute he copped to raping a 12-year-old girl, a normal person would say, maybe his sermon isn't worth listening to. I think I'll leave. But
that's not why they're there. They're there because he says, give me 10% and I will give you 100% return. So they're waiting on their return. They're not leaving till they get their money.
I thought they were buying their soul back with that 10%. Because they're paying for the sins that they did on. And you know what? Whatever. He said in his statement, he said it was kissing and petting, not intercourse, but it was wrong.
That is not doesn't make it better. It's creepier.
But she said
creepy.
No, it was fingers in her, and you know, it doesn't have to be intercourse. And you don't have to stick your dick in a girl for it to be rape. You stick your fingers in her vagina. I think that's
That'll do it.
Yeah. Anyway, but the people. He's still got his pulpit. Forget about being charged with a crime. You know what, statutes of limitations and stuff. Maybe he won't even be charged because he's old now. He's like 60 something. This is a long time ago. Why the woman waited this long? But the fact that he still got
just got free
congregation. Can't you find anybody to go up there who hasn't raped somebody? Is there a comic in the house who has not raped anybody?
My surprise is that there's not a dad in that congregation that heard that and didn't want to go beat the fuck out of the guy.
Well, in that congregation, understand that dads are also, they just want first dibs. That's all.
If I was within striking range of somebody that I knew was a pedophile, I'm going to jail. Okay.
No,
he came into her room when he stayed with her family at Christmas in 1982. Came into her room. It didn't happen in church. He got
Okay, then yeah. So I can understand why he didn't leave the pulpit. Then he just can't preach from her house anymore.
Yeah. Just so fucking weird that these people would just stay there and he's just not thrown out of church.
And the fact that the congregation sat there and was like, okay, go on. Like, that's fucked up, man.
Yeah, moving on. And nobody will make any big deal of that, and they'll just get a slap on the wrist and continue to run his church, looking for more 12-year-olds. Bring some more in here. We need some new girls.
During COVID, I used to work for a company that rhymes with Random House, Penguin Random House, and there was a guy there who was a convicted pedophile. But because of COVID, the courts were like backed up with the sentencing, and so he was still allowed to work and everything while he was waiting for sentencing. And so and we were given instructions not to harass him, which I wouldn't have done anyway.
Not to feed him any young children.
Yeah. So, but nobody would talk to him. Nobody would work around him or anything like that. So he was working and he dropped a load of books, a big spill. And there was a bunch of small paperbacks. There was like thousands of them on this pallet, but they all fell over. And I saw that. And usually when that happens, one of the other drivers will automatically stop what they're doing, especially if they're not carrying a load, and to help out. Or they'll call for help. Say, look, we got somebody with a spill, somebody help out. Because we all have our little loads to deliver as well. And I didn't have a load, so I stopped and I started to help him. Everybody else was like driving right by him, like, we're not helping that pedophile, we're not helping that pedophile. And I'm thinking, look, he's a pedophile, but right now he works with us, and we have to treat him just like we treat everybody else at work. And so I stopped to help him. And once I did, other people stopped to help him too. And then they chided me, says, why'd you do that? You made us look bad. Now we had to help him. We could have ignored him and just let him, I said, yeah, but I understand. And I don't agree with what he did.
You heard it here first, folks. G.D. Fenderson is a pedophile enabler.
I didn't help him pedophile. I helped him with his book.
You enabled him. You saved him some time so that he will have time at the end of his shift to go find some 7-year-old girl to do some dirty deeds.
He didn't have to find them. We kept them in the back. Everybody knew where they were.
Oh, that's
fair. You didn't have to find them.
So you're just an enabler. Admit it.
Look, this was random.
You bought
this
the guy
was random
some time.
Oh, look, this was Random House. Everything has a barcode, so everything has its place. The 7-year-olds have their barcodes. We know exactly where to find them. We scan location. We know exactly where to go.
All right, calm down, Nike headquarters.
I worked with a pedophile necrophiliac. A guy who
he was a guest on your then he was on your show, and now he lost his power cord, and now he's off the show.
Oh, no, that's a different.
We know the story. You've told it many times.
Different guy altogether.
Oh, different guy.
No, this guy, his name was Kurt. Kurt used to work. He started his professional career working in funeral homes, dressing up bodies and stuff. So right away, if that's where you start your working life as a teenager, chances are you're going to be fucked up.
Probably.
That's what you're psychic.
Or he was fucked up before, and that was the place he went to feel unfucked up.
That could be. Definitely could be. But he became a diener. A diener is the guy in an autopsy who works the saw. That's basically it.
I did not know that term until now. Thank you.
Yeah. He's the guy who cuts the body open, pulls the organs out, and then puts them back in and sews the body up. So he will, take a Black & Decker to the top of your head, cut your brain out, put it in the scale, have somebody take pictures of it, me, and then put your brain back in unless they're gonna.
Now, does he reconnect it? Does he reconnect the brain?
To what? There's nothing to reconnect it to.
What did he disconnect? He unconnected it from something.
Yeah.
And he doesn't reattach anything.
No.
Well, it's kind of a moot point. It's like putting an engine back in a wrecked car.
Or that stuff goes in the bucket, in the big old waste can. All those nerve endings and lots of crap, lots of unneeded parts.
You know what's going to happen? The resurrection is going to come. Jesus is going to raise him up, and the guy's brain is not going to work. He's going to be like, and Jesus is going to say, hey, rise up. And he's going,
the resurrection's going to happen, but he's going to go to hell because he's confused.
Yeah. After his heart and lungs have been pulled out and thrown in a scale, and then his liver and all that, it's pretty wild.
Y'all are making Jesus work really hard for him. He's going to raise up all these people, and they're not going to be functioning. And Jesus,
this is why the end of the world hasn't happened yet. Jesus is finding
everyone's apocalypse. I think that's what we have a term for that. But Kurt got caught in the morgue with two teenage girls having sex with teenage girls in the drawers where you keep dead bodies, and he did not lose his job right away. He lost his job when I threatened to throw him off the top of the building, but that was for something else. But they knew about this. Was well known when I got there that this had happened with this guy, and they were warning me like,
okay, you skipped over a small piece. Why were you threatening to throw him off a building, and did you get to keep your job?
Well, yeah. I had to go to HR and deal with some of that shit. But
so after you talked to Ron Kane about
attempting to throw someone. Kurt. It was Kurt, not Ron Kane.
No, Ron Kane was the HR guy there, wasn't he?
Oh, right. Oh, no, that was our HR at a different company. Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, not a podcast or a digital broadcast type of situation.
Well,
we don't do lots of autopsies here.
Can you talk about this? Is there like a statute of limitations for holding someone?
I can talk about it all day long.
Okay. Why did you threaten to throw him off the top of a building, and how tall was the building?
It's kind of a long story.
And you want to? The news is coming up in 2 minutes. You want to wait for after the news, or?
Yeah, probably that's a good idea because it's not something I could tell in a minute. And well, maybe it is. I don't know. I've never.
How tall was the building? How tall was the building?
That's a good question. I would say it was probably about like 750 to 1,000 feet high. But I don't know.
So he'd have broken the leg if you dropped him off.
Oh, he would have broken everything.
Yeah, he would have been dead.
Yeah.
That's
it depends. If he landed on right? Well, if he landed on like a hardtop car, definitely dead. But if he landed like on a soft top convertible, he probably could have survived it, right? A soft top convertible would have broken his fall. He'd have just had a couple of broken bones.
All right, Alan Edwards, let's go.
Yeah, where's my buddy Al? Al, what's in the news?
A family of 6, including 3 children, were killed by gunmen in the southern Mexico border state of Chiapas, a region plagued by cartel-backed militia violence.
Julio Perez, the mayor of Pantelo in Chiapas, said the killings occurred there last Friday, calling it a massacre. 2 warring militia groups, suspected of cartel backing, have been fighting for control of the town. It is the latest in a series of mass killings where entire families have been wiped out in Mexico. Paul Gomez reporting.
The U.S. State Department has designated the Nordic Resistance Movement and 3 of its leaders as specially designated global terrorists.
NRM is the largest neo-Nazi group in Sweden, with branches in Norway, Denmark, Iceland, and Finland, where it has been banned since 2020, the State Department said in a statement. NRM's violent activity is based on its openly racist, anti-immigrant, anti-Semitic, and anti-LGBTQI plus platform. Joseph Eckerson reporting.
The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is alerting Americans about a potential shortage of Adderall, a crucial treatment for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder.
The CDC issued the Health Alert Network advisory earlier this week to inform public health officials, clinicians, and affected patients, their families, and caregivers about potential disrupted access to care among individuals taking prescription stimulant medications and possible increased risks for injury and overdose. Kyle Norris reporting.
Leaders of other nations criticized Russian President Vladimir Putin's peace offer as propaganda during a two-day peace summit in Switzerland this weekend.
Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni stated Saturday that Putin's peace offer is mere propaganda, essentially asking Ukraine to withdraw from Ukraine. It looks more like a propaganda move than a real one, Meloni said. Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky's chief of staff, Andriy Yermak, told the BBC his nation won't compromise on independence, sovereignty, or territorial integrity. Benjamin Wright reporting.
This is the latest news headlines.
You know, if you get out of your house,
now you see why I insist that those are AI reporters. Alan Edwards may be real, but his
rap
reporters,
mogul Sean Combs, known as Diddy, has returned a ceremonial key to New York City after recently revealed video footage showed him assaulting singer Cassie Ventura, his former girlfriend.
The key was returned at the request of Mayor Eric Adams, who sent 2 copies of a June 4th letter to Combs' offices in New York and Los Angeles, obtained by TMZ and other news outlets. It was returned on June 10th, a day after Howard University in Washington, D.C., severed ties with him. Jessica Oakley reporting.
Police are continuing their search for a suspect who fled after opening fire at a Maryland high school football game.
The incident occurred on Saturday morning, resulting in the death of a man in the bleachers and the wounding of a child. It took place outside Potomac High School in Oxon Hill around 11:20 a.m., Prince George's County Police said in a statement posted on X, formerly Twitter. Jim Kender reporting.
2 people were shot and killed during a Juneteenth celebration on Saturday at a park in Round Rock, Texas, according to police.
A fight erupted between 2 groups at Old Settlers Park around 11 p.m. Round Rock Police Chief Alan Banks told reporters early Sunday. At about the same time, someone produced a gun and started firing, Banks said, adding that multiple people were struck by the gunfire. Lawrence Keller reporting.
An American tourist was found dead Sunday on a beach on the Greek island of Mathraki.
This incident is the latest in a series of cases where foreign tourists have been found dead or reported missing in the scenic vacation spot over the past week, authorities said. The remains of the missing American were discovered around 1:30 p.m. local time on a beach near the old port of Mathraki Island, according to the president of the community of Mathraki Island, Liam White, reporting.
And that's the latest news headlines with Alan Edwards.
All right. GD says all of you people are bots. I disagree with
that.
Right.
Not all of them. You said Alan Edwards is a real person. But how many times have I heard them pronounce something in a strange fucking way that only an AI thing would do it? A real person would never say LGTB qui I or qui I. No, it's they took the Q and the plus and tried to pronounce it. Okay, that's AI. That's what AI does.
And that's like super offensive to the alphabet people.
Yeah, like that when they tried to pronounce QAnon, it was like Quanon because yeah. It's so either they're hiring people who don't know how the letter Q works.
I think you're AI.
I could be AI.
So, guys, I wanted to talk about this. Okay, I sat through a 2.5-hour RFK Jr. interview.
Were you interviewing him?
No.
He's AI. Which one? Who was that with? Was that?
That was. Hold on a second. It's Hold on, I'm pulling it up. It's the Sean Ryan show.
Oh, because he was on with Cenk Ungvar, whatever, the Young Turks. What Cenk Ungvar?
Oh, Young
Turks. Yeah, whatever.
Cenk Uyghur, isn't it?
Yeah, whatever.
I used to like the Young Turks.
Tell us about RFK Jr. and what he said.
Well, first I wanted to say it needed subtitles. His voice sounded so much worse than I've heard it before. It was bad. But the dude's kind of off his rocker a little bit. He's a conspiracy theorist a little bit.
He said,
not a little bit, not a little bit,
a lot of it.
Yeah.
He said last night. He said, "My conspiracy theories have a show life."
Hey guys, I'll be right back in just a couple minutes here. I gotta go help my wife with something. I'll be right back.
All right, go back.
Is that what you call a quickie these days?
I'm trying to talk over my ass. Trying to talk out of my ass here. He said his conspiracy theories have a shelf life of 3 months. That's how long they take to come true. That's what he said last night. Yeah.
No, that's how long it takes for him to think of a new conspiracy to cover up the old one.
Right. His people get angry when I said that when he speaks, nobody can understand him. You don't. We understand him perfectly. Like, they get really angry that you point out that he's got some clarity problems in his diction. He's got a diction problem. He's got a big diction problem.
Well, those are people who speak fluent dog whistle. That's why you don't understand it. It's like people can hear Trump.
But he's doing all these, like he's everywhere. Steven saw him with that 2.5 hour thing. He was on Chengguwa for about 2 hours. He's all over the place. And you know what? Somebody said the biggest obstacle he has faced is people thinking he can't win this morning. And I tell you what I said. I said, no, I think he's, what did I say? I forget what I said. See this? You made me forget what I said. No.
Well, anyone can win if enough people vote for them. He's not going to get enough people to vote for him, no.
I think he might. Because my feeds are like full of people. The guy said the biggest obstacle to RFQ Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has faced as a presidential candidate so far as people thinking he can't win. However, Zogby's massive poll of 26K likely voters reveals he wins one-on-one against either Joe Biden or Donald Trump.
Okay, here's the problem. Fuck the polls. He is not on enough states as of right now to get 270 electoral votes.
I think he's getting close.
So as of right now, he is not on enough states. So they can show a poll where he wins 100% of the vote. If he's not on enough states,
he's going to get there. He has a massive organization working for him, getting out the signatures. He's going to get there because he's got Tim Mellon, whatever his fucking name is, the billionaire financial backing.
Which one? Peter Thiel?
No,
I don't know.
Tim something, Malone, something like that. It's the guy. He's also the guy who also gave $25 million to Trump. So this guy's he's hedging his bets everywhere, but he's dumping tons of money.
Well, I think his bet is with Trump, and he's using what's his face to try to steal enough votes from Biden so Trump can win.
That's a common assessment, but I think what there are from what I see. Not polls, just real fucking people that I try to avoid. He's got a lot of people just totally fucking in love with his ideas. One of the ideas is now he wants to take a isolationist, like a pre-World War I approach to foreign policy, pulling the United States out of everywhere and just let havoc run wild in, abandon NATO, disband NATO, whatever.
That doesn't work with a world economy.
It's impossible. It's that genius out of the fucking bottle.
Right.
So my answer to him was not for me. I think he can win. I also think he's crazy, stupid, evil, and dishonest, which is the problem why I won't vote for him. But I think you could pretty say that of almost any politician if you want, except some of them are not evil, but I think most of them are crazy, stupid, and dishonest. But not to the extent that him and Trump are. I just, whatever. Anyway, why did we get on RFQ? Oh, because Stephen brought him up. But
Stephen brought him up and then left us. Stephen, he threw the turd in the punch bowl and left the party.
I gotta leave. The party.
Sorry, listen.
Fuck you.
Oh no. We moved on. You got another turd for another punch bowl? Then you gonna leave us again? Let me guess.
I think Trump is great. All right,
You watched an interview with Alex Jones, right?
Ever? No.
So, did you want to make a point about you just that you think he's a little bit crazy? He's a lot.
The point I was going to make was after that 2-hour interview, I don't understand how there is anybody who's going to vote for the man. Is my confusion. Because
remember yesterday, I said Hulk Hogan was thinking of running, not for president. I think he wants to run for governor of Florida or something.
Well, I'd vote for him, brother.
Well, this is the problem. There are enough people, the Ross Perot effect, there are enough people in our culture who are just so sick of politicians that they want to elect a wrestler or a comedian or a movie star.
Actor,
Yeah, all the stuff that you don't have to have any experience in government, know how anything works, or have any real plan other than like wild-eyed. Well, we're just going to disband NATO and pull, isolation ism in America. It can't work, but it sounds good to a lot of uninformed people who are totally sick of hearing how ineffective Washington is for the people. So I think
that's why RFK is doing so well.
Yeah,
with
exactly
people is because he uses trigger words and keywords that he knows are going to get the uninformed Jimmys going. Because he was talking about, I want to unseal the JFK files. I want to, we can't be the police of the world, but I still want to go make sure China and Taiwan doesn't have, like, the dude's all over the place, man. It's
right.
just,
He wants to pull out from Taiwan and all, every place. Want to leave Ukraine, Israel, Taiwan, leave them all to themselves.
And the crazy thing is the interviewer even brought up, he was like, well, what about the economic impacts of China taking over Taiwan, having the power to make all the microchips and becoming an economic powerhouse? And he goes,
Russia taking over Ukraine's grain.
And he's like, well, we'll get to that when we get to that. And I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
Like, so bad.
Did you see Trump was on a podcast with Logan Paul? This is another part of this. Logan Paul has the fact that Logan Paul is interviewing an ex-president or a presidential candidate. It's just mind-blowing. This is like having Forrest Gump as your news anchor person. Logan Paul is a YouTuber who
and WWE superstar.
Became a boxer, but has absolutely no academic credentials or any kind of real knowledge base. The whole time Trump was talking, you see Logan Paul just like looking into space, like I don't know what those words mean. And like it's not like Trump is like a heavy academic either. Like he should not. If you're lost in the conversation with Trump, you're not really you're not a bright person. That's all there is to it. No book smarts, as they say. But this is the culture we live in. This is why I think RFK actually has a puncher's chance in this thing. If he is going to get on enough. He is going to get on all the ballots and be on in all 50 states. So I think he has a chance. He definitely has a chance to be a spoiler, without a doubt. But I think he also has a chance.
Just with the Hollywood side that he's garnered, the support of Hollywood and comedians and musicians alone, like that right there is going to get him a following like there's no tomorrow.
Well, they're screaming about all the Hollywood people supporting Biden. A lot of, George Clooney threw $30 million at Biden's campaign.
Jack Black just did a full-on public endorsement of Joe Biden after shitting on Trump for about 15 minutes.
Black, and there are people attacking Jack Black now. Jack Black's a good guy.
George Clooney promised me that $30 million to produce one of my shows, and he gave the money to Biden.
Are you sure you're not thinking of Mel Gibson?
No, George Clooney. He and I were like this. It was me, him, and Matt Damon and Brad Pitt. We were like this. We were like a sandwich. We used to hang out together.
You were a sandwich between Brad Pitt and George Clooney? That's and super gay. Happy Pride Month, guys.
It was super hot, too. It was super hot, too.
You guys recreate some scenes from ER?
No, we did. What's that? That we
Ocean's
did
11.
Yeah, Ochin. It was like Ochin 5. Ochin 5.
I would
It was
like
5 of them.
to formally apologize to anybody who's listening or watching. I just want to say it's not going to get any better this week. It's not.
What are you talking about? This is prime time. Let's go.
This is basically what you can expect for the rest of this week. Tomorrow,
that's true.
I don't know. We got one of these coaches on or something.
A life coach?
Whatever. Some kind of, I don't know. I don't know what he does. Or he does. It's Dominique, but he's called Dom. It's a guy. Dominique, I thought was a girl.
That's a girl's name.
Yeah, but then I researched. It's a guy.
Does he pronounce it Dominique or Dominic?
It's probably Dominic. It's probably Dominic.
Would it cue you?
I mean, probably.
Oh, that's Dominique.
He prefers to be called Dom. Not sub Dom.
So should I quote Fast and Furious movies the whole time and see if he gets it?
Should I?
Yeah, try that.
You never had us. You never had your car. Like, what are you talking about? Family.
Generally, I look up the guest, what they were all about, like at about 8 o'clock in the morning, and then get a quick view of what they do, and then we'll talk. That's enough homework for me. I'm not big on homework. So
GD, have you expanded your dildo collection at all?
I am either going to do it tonight or tomorrow.
What segue is that?
I have
talking about tomorrow's guest. Oh, by the way, how's your dildo collection?
Well, you go from Dom to sub to.
Okay.
Yeah,
that makes the segue make sense. Okay.
Yeah, I should have explained more. Sorry.
Yeah, Matt, you have to follow the conversation if you're going to lead it.
Okay. Now, Angela was the receptionist at the pathology department at major medical university. Angela was a very hot young woman, a good 10 years, 15 years younger than me. And
but she was 12.
No, I was 40. She was like 25. Maybe 27, something like that. But she was.
I thought this was going to be another one of those Bible stories.
No, well, it could be.
Exodus.
Yeah. Right. So Angela was surprisingly enough attracted to 40-something me, which is very strange. I mean, because I would basically look like this at 40. And so,
my God!
I know.
Oh,
try to imagine a young hottie thinking.
But she was blind. You didn't say she was blind and disabled.
Well, no, I don't know if she was blind, but she was definitely somewhat retarded.
She had half an extra chromosome.
But if you're listening, call me. No.
I don't. You know what? I think she probably she's older now, obviously, but I think she's off the market now. She's with somebody. But she was very attracted to me at the time, always flirting with me. She took a vacation and went to Cozumel, Mexico, and first she started by sending me pictures back from Cozumel, big black dick and his juicy cock. Big Black Dick is a local legend.
Oh.
There's a statue of Big Black Dick, and he was holding a chicken, and it was Big Black Dick and his juicy cock.
I thought you got picture of just a big black penis sent to you. I was like, wait a second.
Sounds like right, but it's kind of a suggestive. Suggestive title. Anyway, then she started sending me more pictures of her vacation, and some of it was like naked stuff and all. So her naked and all that kind of stuff. And she told me, and she sent it to me at my work computer. And I had a little office there, and I'm pulling up the pictures, and there she is, totally showing me everything she's got. And Kurt,
did you gum up the works after you saw those pictures?
Huh?
Did you have to call IT to unstick your keyboard afterwards, or what happened?
No. I didn't have time for any of that. As I was looking at as the pictures were coming in, and I'm opening them up, Kurt the Diener walks in and he sees the pictures. And he's like all excited now because he had worked with her for like almost 10 years at that time, and he had a crush on her and wanted. And then I said, because she said, don't share these with anybody. I didn't share them with him. He walked in my office unannounced and saw that first picture of her with her titties out, like, and he immediately. I said, don't say anything to anybody about this. If you do, I'm gonna fucking throw you off the top. I said, I'm gonna throw you off the top of the building. And then he left my office and immediately went over to Angela and said, nice titties. So I said, and she came back. She said, what do? You showing Kurt the pictures? No, I didn't show Kurt the pictures. Kurt walked in my office and saw the pictures before I had a chance to even shut down. Why are you sending it to me on my... Anyway, well, she told me Kurt came out and said something inappropriate to her. I went out and I grabbed Kurt by the neck into the elevator, but not realizing there were surveillance cameras watching this whole thing. And I dragged him into the elevator up to the roof of the building, had him hanging off the roof. And I said, give me one reason to spare your fucking life right now. And he was like crying, pleading with me. And I thought better of it. I said, you know what? It's not worth it to go to jail for the rest of your life to kill this fucking guy.
So he never gave you a good reason. You had to come. He never gave you a good reason. You had to come up with a reason of your own.
Well, basically, yeah. It was the reason of my own was I don't want to spend the rest of my life in jail over somebody else's titty pictures. I didn't ask her for the titty pictures. She sent them to me, and at my work computer, no less. So it was the risk was on her. But he was crying a mess, and he was on his knees like begging. But again, I didn't know there were surveillance cameras on this whole thing, and HR had all of it on tape. And so, like 20 minutes later, I got called into HR needing.
Oh, wait, 20 minutes later, so nobody stopped you going up to the roof.
Nobody ran up to the roof. No, in real time, nobody. Whatever.
So they were like watching the cameras, going.
Nobody liked Kurt.
Taking bets, going like, okay, I got $30. Says he won't do it. I got $40. Says he will.
Hope I didn't park down there.
I'm moving my soft top convertible.
Right. The silver lining at the end of this, Kurt quit the job at the end of the day, and so they'd been trying to get rid of him for years because of the young girls in the morgue stuff, and they never fired him over that. But he quit on his own, and I was a hero then for getting Kurt to quit. And
so whenever they wanted somebody
should have just right anytime. So HR has now adopted a policy of let Matt take him up and threaten to throw him off the roof. And
that's Jeez, Matt, you got to ruin all the fun.
Yeah.
So that's like official policy in the HR book. So who's taking over your position?
Already? I don't think that. I didn't know I told that story already.
So who's taking over your position there as the
corpse photographer?
Huh?
Yeah. Who took over your position as the person who gets rid of people who don't want to work there?
Oh! After I left, I thought you were going to
say who took over your position?
Who had to cut up the bodies after? Because Kurt left, we didn't have a Diener left. So for about 2 months, I was the guy with the saw, and and the sewing. That's the putting the organs back in the body and sewing the cadaver up. It was not my thing. I did some sloppy work.
But at least they weren't going to complain. Look at the stitching you did. You know what the resurrection, what I'm going to look like? They're going to laugh at me.
They didn't complain, but the Suffolk County medical examiner, he complained almost every day. Like, you got to get a professional Diener in here. Somebody,
you got to get a seamstress.
It's not like there are tons of qualified applicants for that job. I mean, the people who do it basically get their training in a funeral home.
Right.
So, and it's like, if the pay is good, they're not going to leave the funeral home, because a funeral home's a pretty cushy job. You do one at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of the day just like walking around thinking, I got paid for today. Or you're just lounging around and all that kind of stuff. Or in his case, probably having sex with the dead bodies. But it's not like that. It's not like there are people available candidates for that job. So it takes a while to fill that position. I don't know if we put out a Diener wanted ad today, we would get a lot of responses for it. Like,
I think you would, but I think most of them are actually serial killers in training. They've been doing it in their basement for a while.
I think Kurt was. I definitely think he was that. I mean, he had that really creepy. Listen, he wanted to have sex with young girls in morgue drawers where he just pulled the fucking body out of it. Like, ew, dude. Aren't you concerned at all about?
But wouldn't the bodies be in a bag? Or did you just throw them in naked? Because if you throw them in naked, you got to clean the drawer every time.
They weren't in a bag until after. No, they just generally they come down from wherever they died in the hospital. And these aren't people who died at home. If they died at home, the medical examiner for the county gets them, and they leave home in a bag. Don't leave home without your bag. But if they died in the hospital, they wheel them down on a gurney, put them in the drawer. After we chop them up, we put them in a bag.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
But now, have they already pooped by the time? Have their internal?
I think I've discussed this plenty of times. Anytime you cut up a dead body, the first thing you're going to be hit with is the overwhelming smell of shit. I mean,
but that's not my question. My question is because usually after you die, there's like a puddle of piss and shit that comes out. And so my question is, when they're in the drawer naked, are they like in there and there's like, they already pissed?
I don't know where you got. I don't know where you got that from. That happens.
I've heard that too. Honestly,
that's very rare.
Okay.
That they actually let it out because first of all, unless they have a load of each ready, it takes like really.
I know a muscle has to push it out, but right. I thought if a muscle relaxed, like gravity, like kind of took over, or air pressure.
No, most of them are clean. Most of them are clean when you put them on the table. It's not until you open them up that you get the shit, and it's all there. And this is everyone's got. We're all full of shit. Even if you think I just took the two biggest shits back to back in my life, I'm clean right now. There's nothing in me. Guarantee you, we open you up, it's gonna stink like shit.
Now I had what's that thing called? When they go in your butt with the camera. Damn it! I can't remember what it's called.
Colonoscopy.
Oh, fans only. So I know OnlyFans. And I had done the cleanse with the day of fasting. Yeah, and the colon cleanse. And they still complained. They said, you had something. I'm like, well, look, it's not my fault. I did everything you told me to do. I didn't eat. I just drank that stuff. But they said, did you drink all of it? I'm like, I drank. Yeah. And so they were still upset.
Colonic. Take a good colonic. Call me in the morning. I don't know where we were going with that. Oh, the Kurt being a serial killer. I do think he had potential for that. I mean, he was just the weirdest guy in the world. I don't know whatever became of him. Probably should have put him on some kind of watch list or some shit like that. He was a bad guy.
So is it Kirk with a K or Kirk with a T?
K.
So Kirk, if you're listening and you want to catch up, fill us in on the
K-U-R-T.
Kurt.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so if you're listening and you want to get us all caught up on what you've been doing since the roof incident, call us at
Let me see. That would be like 2001, 2000. Probably 2003. So that would be 21 years ago.
Okay, so call us at 1-800-MIND-DOG. Just call us at 1-800-MIND-DOG and tell us what you've been up to. Operators are standing by.
No, there are no operators standing by. If they're anywhere, they're sitting by. But that number, I wonder what I should get that number, 1-800-MIND-DOG. I wonder how much that would cost me.
It's 7 digits. It works.
Speaking of
I thought it was a real number. That's why I put it out there. I've been telling people to call you on that number.
Here he is now. This is Kurt, the serial killer. Good morning, Kurt.
Welcome. So tell us what's been going on since 2003 when Matt hung you over the roof for staring at titties.
The band is texting me again. This is like what you guys don't know what I fucking.
Ron, how are you, man? What you been up to?
Hold on, no, Steven, hold up. Something's wrong with him. He just has Ron. Usually it's like something else. It's like Big Daddy, Big Dick, Big Black
Ron.
Dick, or
Big Black Ron or something.
Lovers, crotchlovers.org.
Let me.
What happened?
I've matured. That's what's happened. I've matured. So
no, really,
no. He's a skinwalker from New Mexico. It's not really Ron.
That's better. Much better. That's better.
He's
Ron Zoni the Zamboni.
He's a macaroni. Hey, macaroni. Yeah, so we were just talking serial killers and autopsies and things like that. Nothing. We don't have a guest today. No guests. Where are you?
So what time's your flight? Yeah, what time's your flight coming in? Or are you home?
We leave here today at 1:30. Our flight leaves.
Could you go stand behind that fence and just do like the Wilson thing?
I could. I guess I could just climb over it. I don't think the neighbors would mind. Actually, I don't even know whose yard this is behind us. It might be theirs. I don't know.
So, is it 1,000 degrees in New Mexico right now?
Yeah, it's been in about the mid-90s the past couple days, but
Same here. Cool.
Like the weather right now is perfect outside.
Oh, you talk about perfect weather. You talk about perfect weather.
I don't want to hear it.
Oh, you talk about it. You just talk about it. Last night, I was out walking the track at the school with the wife, and Long Island is kind of weird because even in the summer when it's oppressively hot, you still get like sea breezes and stuff on the track. It was like I was having a spiritual moment last night on the track. It was like a perfect pre-summer night, like pre-cum, like pre-summer. It was just, and I was like having an emotional moment. I was almost welled up and like cried because it was so fucking perfect. But you know, this is the time I live for. But the thing is, it's fleeting. It goes by so fast that before you know it, the shitty weather will be back on top of us. And just wanted to make the moment last. I was like, yeah, you know what? My wife was done walking the track. I was like, maybe one more. I just don't want to go home. I don't want to go to bed yet.
That's why it's important to enjoy the suffering.
Enjoy the suffering, live in the moment, and make the moment last for as long as possible. You're right, absolutely. Yeah.
So are your cats out back? Are they on a schedule? Like, or do they eat the same time every day, or do they
eat all day long? And now here's what they do: they knock on the back door, saying, "Come on, feed us." They literally knock. They get up, like knock, knock. Oh, who's that knocking at the back door? Oh, it's the cats. And then we feed them at the back door. And just as the plate's getting empty, I go check on it, and there's like one cat there just eating up the last scrap. You hear a knock at the front door. It's the same fucking cats. They just go right. Like, what the fuck? You don't trick or treat at the same house twice in 2 minutes.
So that's how that works. I've been doing it all wrong. I was with my wife last week, and I was knocking at the front door, and then when I was done, I knocked on the back door, and she said, "Get the fuck out of here!"
Now, my wife
is double dipping.
My wife,
you're not double dipping. Get out of here.
Hold on, let me see if I can pull that up. What you guys talk amongst yourself for a second here.
Okay.
Let's see if I can pull things. I like to pull things.
So, Ron, will you be there tonight, or will you be too tired? Or will you be there and just too tired to give a shit?
No, our plane doesn't land until 9:30.
Okay. So you lied to me when you told me you'd be back on the 18th, and I thought I'd only had to cover for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well,
not well. Yeah.
Well, you know, Rod, for somebody who's a real Nazi when it comes to staying on time and, getting the light. You're really willy-nilly about all this.
Nazi.
I gotta do it.
Is a kind of a strong word. I just want to say. Yeah.
Okay, you commie.
That's not a cat, okay? That's not a cat.
No, it's not a cat. It's a raccoon. And look, Now he comes up. He's ready to knock on the door for the cat food. Here we go. She's looking right at him. Then he goes up to the bird feeder. He's like, "Oh, there's no cat food out here. Let me grab some. Yeah, let me go. Oh, the birds ate all the food too. Fuck, there's nothing here. I'm leaving. That's it. I'm leaving." So yeah, we have like just tons of wild animals here. I couldn't make that full screen for some reason, but yeah, we're getting harassed by all. We have the deer, we have fox, we have now the gopher or gopher groundhog dug a huge hole. We're trying to on the side yard make the side yard nice. Well, she is. I'm not doing anything. I'm watching. But the gopher is like we can gopher groundhog is wreaking havoc over there. Just like every time she does something, he goes and digs into a gigantic cave. But it's a good problem to have. I'd rather have the animals than people.
Yeah,
people digging holes in my yard, coming to the door for food. We've had that. We went through that period for about 15 years of homeless people moving in and robbing us and all that kind of stuff. But they're done. So now we have all the cats. Anyway, leave them.
So
Leave
did
out
you buy more
food.
cat condos yet? Have you finished the cat condo development yet?
No, we only have the one. They don't care about it. I was complaining like we went through all this trouble to build you a house, put a house out there for you, and they look at it like, what the fuck is that shit? They go sleep on the chair.
They get fed when they're homeless. I wouldn't want to live there either if I wasn't going to get fed anymore.
Well, we put food in it to try to lure them in it because you bought the house on Amazon, built the house. You want to see them use it, but they're not interested. I think when it starts getting cold, maybe they'll say, you know what, better in there than out here. But
Typical cats just show up at someone's house, expect a cat condo to be built. I mean, we cannot stand for this shit.
I know. No.
Living off of the Napo tit.
I'm registering them all as voters, by the way. So
build a wall of catnip.
What is that about? Somebody talking about Dr. Phil is about to find out what happens when you associate. What happened between Phil and Trump? Did something happen?
Oh, Phil had an interview with him. Phil.
I know they had an interview, but he's trending now. I guess something happened. Did he say something wrong about Trump or something?
I'm thinking that people just finally caught on to to the show, that they're just catching up to the interview.
Oh, that could be.
Because I didn't watch. I just watched parts of it that they showed on the news, and my wife was. Oprah just owes us all an fucking apology. Between Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz, Oprah owes us an apology. As a matter of fact, I'm suing for 100%. Damages.
Well, wasn't it like a couple months ago, Dr. Phil started speaking out on the border? Like anyone asked his opinion?
On Rogan, first he went down to the border, had some things to say, and like 3 days later he was on Rogan talking about, like he's a border expert all of a sudden.
Everybody is anymore.
It would be great though if Dr. Phil went to the border and all these people are there and they're just crossing. They're like, "How about that? Cash me outside."
Yeah. But you know what? This morning, where was it in the news? Because I think Biden is trying to campaign for Trump. I really do. In the news here, Biden announces new policy shielding undocumented spouses of U.S. citizens from deportation. Now, even if you think that's a good idea, 4 months before an election is it's not smart to do something like that because you're polarizing. Well, you're already polarized anyway, but you're firing up the people who are against you anyway, and that kind of stuff.
Well, maybe he's attracting some of the Latino votes. Maybe.
Did you see that Trump video where he went in for the kiss?
Ted Cruz's daughter. That was Ted. Well, first of all, my thought on that is, we all know Ted Cruz is a fucking cuck to begin with, but to sacrifice your daughter in that way. I wouldn't. After all the shit he's been through with Trump calling his father a JFK assassin, and then fucking calling his wife dogface, putting out pictures of Ted looking at porn sites of women that resemble his wife, all that kind of stuff. Why would you let your adolescent or teenage or young adult daughter be within 100 feet of him? It's beyond me. Like you have no respect for anything.
Well,
that's
I think in fairness, in the absence of Jeffrey Epstein, somebody has to take over the island. Maybe Cruz wants the job, and he's going to call it Epstein Cruises, just to keep the name in there, but to put so it has a name recognition of Epstein, but has his name Cruises in there. So
she ran away from him. I don't know if you saw the video. He went in for a kiss, and she like.
It looks so much worse on video. It was probably even worse in person.
No, it's definitely
because in person it has the smell.
Yeah.
A very creepy moment there, but his followers are beyond creepability.
Now, there's a video that's resurfacing because I remember years ago when I first saw it. It's Trump coming down the escalator, and there's like an 11-year-old girl coming up the escalator, and Trump goes, "In 8 years, I'm going to date her."
What the fuck?
10 years. Yeah. And so that video is back. It's and the thing is, I'm surprised that back then it didn't make, that's creepy enough, that that came out like shortly after the Hollywood. No, that came out before the Hollywood.
On The View, and they asked him what him and his daughter have in common, and he said sex, and that didn't creep people out.
Yeah. Dude, he's been weird like that forever, though.
Yeah. I mean, and when he was on Howard Stern bragging about having access to Miss Teen America's dressing rooms so he could still go in and see the naked teenage girls, that didn't creep people out about him. I mean, we've lost at least Kurt. People knew he was a creep, and we all agreed that Kurt was a creep. I mean, I just don't get it. This is why I think there is something satanically protecting it. Like he's got an evil, dark overlord protecting him from public scrutiny.
It's George Soros.
I wrote a sketch for Politipod, and the sketch was based on the premise that Trump made a deal with the devil, and the deal was that Trump's daughter Ivanka would give birth to the devil's son spawn, which would be Jared. Yeah, Jared is the devil's son, and so that was the deal they made. But.
Wow. All right, then. That's the show for you, folks. Thanks for coming. Now, did you know that Rhonda and Jackie had a previous relationship? And when I say previous relationship, I don't mean they were fucking. I mean they knew each other. They were friends.
No, not like the strippers.
Yeah.
No, I did not know. But I found out that Rhonda and I had quite a few. Well, actually, I can't call Jackie a friend because we're really not friends. I just know him through the show. I mean, I would help him move.
The reason I even brought that up was because when you first started coming on the program, you were calling Jackie a racist.
No, I didn't call him a racist.
I think you did. Let's go to the tape. Don't make me
You
RFK.
can go to the tape. I never called Jackie a racist. I know exactly what I thought of Jackie before I got to meet him.
Yeah, he just said he's anti-Semitic. There's a difference.
Thank you, Ron. Finally, somebody who doesn't listen to me either.
I'm pretty sure he called him a racist. I don't have the videotape available at the moment.
Pretty sure you called him a racist, and then you took out one of your dildo tools and was like, "See, look," and I don't know what happened.
Oh no! Here's what he said. Yeah, because this is I'm remembering the conversation now. You were saying all he does is steal black people's jokes, old black comedians' jokes. Like no, he uses everybody's jokes. White, black doesn't matter.
I said that was what I thought of him because that's how but I didn't say that was he not what he does. That's what I thought of him. That was my first impression of him. Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
That was your first impression of Jack. Wait.
Because when I
say that Red Fox also used the same. It wasn't like original material. They were working from the same 1850s joke book.
Right, and that's what I came to realize later. And when I saw Jackie in person, it dawned on me that what he was like is more like like a very good cover band. I'm gonna play all the hits for you, and he says so, and he doesn't claim credit for the songs. He plays the songs,
right?
And he doesn't, and he does a cover version of them. So, or sometimes he just does a very, very very good covers of them. So,
well, even Norm Macdonald did a lot of that too.
Norm
Macdonald
Macdonald wasn't funny, so I don't know who that is.
You monster.
Jackie's funny. Norm Macdonald, not even close to funny. Was that a B? Did you just push a B, or you just stuck?
You know what I think about this?
Oh, he kicked himself out. And then he took my spot. Kicked himself out to take my spot, which is really uncool. No, Norm.
Well, tomorrow is Juneteenth.
Norm is my daddy. Did I bring up the fact that Andy Richter is still continuing to bash Norm in deaths for his gay jokes at Andy's expense? But Andy's like on a soapbox about it now. But while he was doing it in time, he was laughing along with it, and you know what? You didn't have the balls to say what you think about the jokes then. Don't do it now after he's dead. That's a low life chicken coward move to me. Leave out more food postable. Postable? Is that what?
Postable.
Postable animal content. Oh, postable animal. I don't know.
Yeah, it took me a while to read. That's why I didn't post it right away, because I was like, I don't understand that word.
Postable. Yeah, postable is a new word. Like, I wonder if Merriam-Webster's caught up to that. But Andy Richter is saying, because I don't know if you know the joke about we don't have women in this town. All we got is Andy Richter, the German Swede. And the miner says, well, I can't be doing that. And then finally he gives in. He says, yeah, I'm horny, man. It's been so long since I've been with a woman. I'll take Andy Richter, the German Swede. And the farmer said, well, he said, but nobody can know about it. He said, well, 4 people will know about it. He said, 4 people know about it. He said, yeah, I'll know about it. You'll know about it. Andy Richter, the German Swede, will know about it. And the fella that has to hold Andy Richter down will know about it. and Andy said, well, thank you for sparing me my dignity. And Norm said, you were raped. But then now he's on now 2 years after Norm dies, Andy Richter's on the soapbox going on podcast saying, how am I supposed to look at my gay friends in the eye after dealing with that? Like, if you were so outraged by it, why didn't you say something then? Why were you fucking coward and wait till 2 years after the guy's dead to fucking complain about it? So you know what?
Well,
it was all good then. It's all good now.
Speaking of Andy's, is Andy Dick still around? Does anybody know?
I think he's in jail, isn't he?
No, I don't
think
know.
he was in jail.
No, I think he's out. I think he's staying quiet.
So his career is about to make a comeback then?
I hope not.
I wouldn't say that.
You know, speaking of comebacks, Paulie Shore is.
He followed me on Twitter.
Yeah, he follows everybody on Twitter. Don't get excited.
Josh Wolf followed me on Twitter too.
He's following Ian. He's following me. I think he's following everybody.
I think Elon. Somebody's saying that Elon Musk followed me on TikTok. They say they're calling themselves the real Elon Musk, which
no, the real fake Elon Musk. Right? Sure it doesn't say Elton.
No, it's Elon. No, it says Elon Musk, and then it gives her like an at Elon something, and pictures of Elon, and all the videos are of Elon Musk.
Oh yeah, but that's a fake account.
I'm just saying I don't know if Elon Musk is following me on TikTok or not.
Say if Andy Dick is out of jail or what, or
as long as they're tasteful nudes, that's all.
He's still in Dick prison. Doesn't say.
He was just arrested. Yeah, he was just arrested.
Arrested again? That I know in Austin, he assaulted somebody, then he got beat up after that, and then he got arrested again and sent to jail for a little while. Arrested for public intoxication. That was almost a year ago, though. I don't know. Why did you bring up Andy Dick? Oh, because I was talking about Andy.
Andy Richter, and then I thought
Andy
Andy Richter, Andy Rectum, Andy Dick.
Okay.
That's
So that's
it.
it. But Pauly Shore is, like Stephen pointed out, following everybody and anything that moves. But yesterday he had an impromptu like Twitter call where it just asked me questions about politics, pop culture, or any of this kind of stuff. And we're having a call. I'll send you my phone number, and we're recording it for a later broadcast. But he's trying, he not like he ever stopped performing, but all of a sudden, I guess he's trying to increase his Twitter following, but he's upset that people are saying it's a comeback. He's like, listen, he was one of the biggest box office draws, strange to say, for a short period of time in, what was it, the 80s, I guess, the mid 80s, early 90s.
Around then.
What went wrong? People outgrew
Pauly Shore, right?
People outgrew the Wheeze. The Wheeze.
You're talking about Pauly Shore, right?
The Weasel.
Yeah, 90s. Yeah, like Biodome, Encino Man.
Never saw any of them, which I shouldn't say publicly because I want to get him on the
Biodome
program.
was great. Encino
You should
Man
reach out to him since you and him are close now. You should reach out to him and tell him to get on the program.
Oats.
So anyway, yesterday he was having this call and he said, text me if you have an interesting question. I will send you my phone number. So I said I had an interesting question for him. I don't remember what it was, but he didn't choose me. He turns out he was probably looking for dates. He said, anybody not dudes? Because I really want somebody who's not a dude. And like, oh, so you're using your Twitter platform to try and get dates with young girls. That Anthony, what's it? How do you say his last name? The Red Hot Chili Pepper lead singer, Kiedis, something like that.
Kiedis. Anthony Kiedis.
Anthony Kiedis, yeah. He's 61 years old. Got an 18-year-old girlfriend. 18. Like, and I don't know how long she's actually been 18. Like, apparently, if he's been with her for any period of time, probably was breaking the law somewhere in there. But he looks desperate to hold on. Like every picture you see, he's got his arms wrapped around, like not letting her go. But it's just a very creepy picture to see a guy that age with a girl who she doesn't even look 18. She looks more like 14 or something. Like, what's the attraction there, man? What do you talk about? Hey, man, how's Pokemon? I don't know. What do you talk to a 18-year-old girl about? What are they?
What diapers were you in when you were a kid? I'm getting ready to get in some myself.
I think we want to meet her parents first. I think that's the people you want to meet. You don't have questions for her. You got questions for
what?
the parents.
If I were dating her mother, people would call me a pervert.
Probably.
Yeah, her mother's probably in, what, 40? Somewhere around 40. Look at him. He's robbing the cradle. Not as much as
I call her a grave robber before I called you a cradle robber, though. So
what would you even what would you even talk about? I mean, what would you
That's what I'm saying. Like, what kind of conversations do you have with an 18-year-old? Like, I don't even know.
He's probably like, can you tell me about 9/11?
I'd be saying, can you help me reset my password on my computer?
Yeah.
He's dating her for the tech support. That's what it is.
I could see that.
He's got to really try hard to be young. That's what he's just got to try really hard.
I went through that phase, but I was 40. When I was about 40, I was dating a 21-year-old. She was a student at Boston University, and that was kind of creepy.
And she had an ass that wouldn't quit.
Yes. She was fucking amazing. And
I bet she was a D student.
She was a bartender, first of all. She was a bartender in a bar where we were playing. And she would have a tendency to be with older fellas anyway. But yeah, I spent some time with her. And that was when I was going through a phase. The attraction there, as Ron just said, it's not so much that you're looking for a relationship. It makes you believe that you are not ready for the grave. Like, see, I'm still got it a little. 20-year-old, 21-year-old is into me. I must not be dying yet. That's the whole
I pulled out a package of bratwurst and she'll eat it down like a
But
monster.
again, even at that point, I had nothing to talk to that girl about. I mean, at the time, I think Fergie was big, right? That was the thing, Fergie.
Can you believe what the Black Eyed Peas are doing to Fergie?
Yeah,
Oh
exactly.
My
I knew the name, but I didn't really. I wasn't hip. So how do you have conversations?
See, and at the time, I actually thought Fergie was a member of the royal family. I did not know that she was a member of the Black Eyed Peas.
I did too.
Fergie of the Black Eyed Peas.
I did not. Yeah.
Took me a while to figure out it was a different person. I
had no idea. Like I didn't know, like Will.i.am. I'm like, nope, don't know who they are. Now I'd heard of the Black Eyed Peas, but I didn't know who the members were.
Right.
But that's me. I never pay attention to male members anyway.
Mikey, he's had Joe Bidenism since he was 20 years old. He just fucks up words and stuff, fucks up titles and all. So he used to fuck up Black Eyed Peas and Plain White Tees all the time. Plain white peas or Black Eyed Tees or something like that. And he'd just call out something like, "What do you want me to fucking play, man? Give me the song title." not a fucked up band name. Like, you didn't get it right. He's always doing that kind of stuff. Like every fucking title. I think
Red Hot Rolling Stones.
Yeah. The Red Hot Stones. The Red Hot Stones. What do you mean?
They're great on my back.
Yeah. When you were talking about a really good cover band before, the problem is at some point covers became, we used to call them copy bands when I was a kid, copy band. But there's a difference between somebody who's covering a song and making it their own than somebody who's trying to copy a record, or it sound like a record and do that exact arrangement, the same solos and all that stuff. We've
like
never
KTEL Records. Like KTEL Records.
KTEL Records, right. That was copy music. But people, because when they hear the Rockin' 45s do a lot of covers, they think that we're doing, and especially subs, when you get a sub drummer or a sub bass player, they're always like, well, that's not the way the record goes. Well, we're not doing the record. We're covering the songs. We're doing our version of them. And for some reason, musicians lost the capability of thinking in those terms. Like, you have the basic structure of the song, but we could add it. We could play it in a completely different groove. We can actually play with some of the arrangement completely, all that kind of stuff. They've lost the ability to do that. I don't know if you can do that in comedy, but that's why I brought Norm up. Norm used to do that all the time with the moth joke, which is essentially a 30-second joke. Would be a 13, 14-minute bit in Norm's hands. And it was masterful. It was really good stuff. But you never see comedians doing that, taking old jokes, making them their own, and really working with them. Except for Norm, I can't think of another example of somebody who does that. What was that?
It was a truck going by.
I thought it was the metronome thing coming back. I don't know. We started the program with a beep, 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 beep.
That was weird. I thought it was me. That's why I X'd out. That's why I left and came back. I was like, is my shit messed up?
Well, I knew it wasn't me because I don't make those kinds of mistakes.
You don't make go beep beeps?
No. I mean, mine sounds more like like that.
Good morning, Mr. Rhodes.
Hello, Mr. Rhodes.
Yeah, foul mouth teacher. Yeah, that would be good. You just get up in the class. Today's fucking lesson is shit on a shinola.
Y'all shut the fuck up. It's math time.
Yeah, you little cunts.
Oh my god. That's terrible.
Is it time to say goodbye to Gubs?